This Bitcoin chart right here tells everything we need to know about the Bitcoin market. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we have some very important technical analysis to do because in today's video, we are going to be discussing why this bull market, this 2020 all-time high run and beyond for Bitcoin is unlike anything we have ever seen before in the history of cryptocurrency. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the differences between this bull market that we're moving into and everything that we have ever seen in the history of Bitcoin, and I'm going to be showing you Google Trends for Bitcoin, and I'm going to be showing you why the data that we see over there is so incredibly significant. I think you're going to get a lot of great value out of today's video. If you guys do, as always, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps out our channel, and I would be very appreciative. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We have a lot of amazing new content coming out over there. So without much further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. CT2A is the one-stop shop to learn everything you need to know about technical analysis in Bitcoin. As you guys can see, we have 36 videos and over 12 hours of high-quality content teaching you everything you need to know to learn how to trade, invest, and profit in cryptocurrency markets. I've extended the Cyber Monday 2020 coupon code for $75 off on this academy for another 2 days. It'll be expiring on Wednesday, even though it's Cyber Monday. Bear with me. Anyway, guys, let's jump onto the chart. Before we even dive into shorter-term TA, I want to zoom out and show you two moving averages. Specifically, I'm going to show you these ketchup and mustard moving averages, that being the 50 simple daily moving average and the 200 daily simple moving average. What I'd like to show you is that during the last Bitcoin bull market, we saw a pattern recur. Bitcoin would go into a rally and it'd pull back just below the 50 simple moving average, and then it would go on another uptrend. We saw that start all the way at the beginning, back over here in January of 2016, moving through April of 2016. Bitcoin was trading around the 50 daily simple moving average. Then we pulled back below it again in August, September, and October of 2016. We'd pull back there in January of 17, March of 17, July of 17, September of 17, and from there we rallied all the way to the previous all-time high figure at 20K. What we've seen now happen is that Bitcoin is repeating the exact same pattern. We saw Bitcoin pull back to the 50 simple moving average. We saw Bitcoin pull back to the 50 simple moving average. Yes, we are going parabolic, but eventually the 50 simple moving average is going to catch up to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will trade sideways or correct a little bit to touch it. This pattern is indicative of a bull market, and if you'd like, I can do an entire video on all of the different patterns indicating a bull market for Bitcoin. I would be more than happy to discuss all of them at length. Tell me in the comment section down below if that's something that you would like to see. But there's a reason why this is so important, and the main reason why it's so important is because Bitcoin is actually testing this level. As you can see, during the 2019 bull market, Bitcoin never really came down and tested this level. We were so overextended that we were so far away from it that Bitcoin never had time to consolidate. We rallied too quickly. But in this case, Bitcoin has actually traded sideways for months on end throughout the middle part of this year, and Bitcoin has done quite a lot of trading around $10,000 at 50 simple moving average. The reason that's so important ties into the core message of this video, and that is that even though Bitcoin is very, very bullish right now, it's not actually that overextended. It's a little bit overextended. We could do with a healthy correction, but as far as things go, we're in pretty healthy territory. You guys have to understand something we talk about in CT2A on RSI. There's a little bit of a nuance with the way you read RSI. When you're between 50 and 70 on the RSI, you're overbought, but you're pretty healthy. When you get above 70, you're pretty much overbought and it's unhealthy because you're too far. But once you get above like 85 on RSI, yeah, you're probably going to expect a short-term correction, but there's a reason you're over 85 on RSI. It's because you're in a very strong uptrend, and be careful about betting against that uptrend. Nevertheless, Bitcoin is sitting in that zone just below 70 on the RSI, and in fact, if you look at the RSI, Bitcoin's sitting at, I think, 72 today. That is very healthy territory for Bitcoin. So looking at the chart, looking at the volume, we can see that Bitcoin is actually quite healthy. We also talked about this in yesterday's video with Bitcoin market dominance going up against the altcoins. That indicates that Bitcoin is stealing dominance away from the altcoins because Bitcoin is bullish right now and people are bullish on it. All of that ties into two concepts in CT2A. It ties into RSI and it ties into mass psychology. The mass psychology of people buying more Bitcoin, getting out of Ethereum, getting out of other small cap altcoins, getting into something proven like Bitcoin indicates bullishness in the space and a trust in a bull market, but that is shown one other place, and it's shown on Google Trends. As you guys can see, there is a very clear trend on Google Trends from Bitcoin sitting at 28 out of 100 on search interest back at September the 27th, all the way up to last week sitting at 100, the highest amount of search volume we've seen on Bitcoin in a year. So you might look at this and think, well, Jeb, Bitcoin is the most bullish that it has ever been in the last year. That's great, but, you know, A year isn't actually that long. Bitcoin must be overly bullish. I mean, you can see this chart, right? Bitcoin's sitting at 100. The highest these ever got to were 62, 67, 73. Bitcoin must be overextended because it's higher than these three other peaks at various rallies in the past. But that's where you're wrong, because if we go out to the 5-year chart on Bitcoin, we can see that that little rally that we just saw, this little thing right here where Bitcoin hit 100, compared to the amount of interest in Bitcoin the last time we went to $20,000, sitting at, I can't even get my mouse to cover over it, 100, all the way up there. It was on December 17th, 2017 when Bitcoin hit all-time high. Bitcoin's search volume was over 6 times higher than it is today, sitting at 14 out of 100. Here's what that indicates, guys. This time it indicates that Bitcoin has not returned to all-time high based off of a hype cycle and a lot of people entering the space that were not previously here and might be gone with the wind in the exact same way that we saw in 2017. Many of the people that got in at the end of 2017 were gone just as quickly as they entered because they hadn't been here for very long and Bitcoin wasn't the moonshot that it used to be. We got to $20,000 on fundamentals, on technicals, on infrastructure, on true adoption, on technological development, on blockchain security, on fundamentals, guys. That's the key point here. We haven't seen a resurgence in the hype the same way that we had in 2017 yet. It just hasn't happened, and yet Bitcoin is trading at the exact same value. One thing we talk about in CT2A also is the concept of underlying intrinsic value, and it's a very important one. What is the intrinsic value of a market? It's not something that's measurable. It's somewhat ethereal. Bitcoin, just like any other market, has a level that it would like to be trading at, but there are all these different factors pulling on it bullish, pulling on it bearish, these whales coming in, these different technical indicators pulling it up or pulling it down, fundamental features pulling it up or pulling it down, but at the end of the day, there is somewhere that Bitcoin would prefer to be trading at, and it's going to naturally be trending in the direction of that level. Bitcoin's underlying intrinsic value might have been between $5,000 and $10,000 during the last bull market, maybe even lower. I would actually put it at $3,000 to $5,000 during the previous bull market, which, if you look at it that way, it means a $20,000 Bitcoin was massively overextended, and it makes sense that Bitcoin had a major correction. If you look at it that way also, it also makes sense that Bitcoin traded around $6,000 for so long, because that's what Bitcoin was worth back then. And then when Bitcoin fell below $6,000 and then it bounced 4 months later, it makes sense that it bounced 4 months later because Bitcoin was worth a little bit more than $6,000. So it rallied really hard in 2019. The concept of underlying intrinsic value people have called me out on before. I think it's a very healthy way of looking at the market. And in this case, I think it explains why Bitcoin's rallying so far with so little outside investor interest. It's just ridiculous how few people outside of cryptocurrency understand cryptocurrency or have even heard of it. We don't see the massive influx of people into the space. This is not headline number one like it was in 2017, and yet we're back here. So where does that leave us? What's the conclusion here? I'll tell you where it leaves us. It leaves us with the beginning stages of a bull market, the likes of which we have never seen. We have never seen something like this happen. I hope you understand. Bitcoin was not the developed technology and infrastructure and ecosystem in 2017 that it is today. The ecosystem in cryptocurrency is far more robust. The blockchain industry, which is obviously related to Bitcoin, is growing at a continual average growth rate of nearly 30% year over year, with cryptocurrency being one of the top 10 fastest growing industries on the planet right now. There are billions of dollars flowing into the space right now, and yet the rally at the end of 2017 dwarfs what we're seeing today. So the logical next question is, how high do we go? If Bitcoin isn't even close to the amount of interest that it had at the end of 2017, well, then eventually the amount of interest that came in 2017 and probably more will return to the space. And what will that do to Bitcoin? Here's my prediction. I think within the next 18 months, Bitcoin will be trading at 6 figures. I think Bitcoin's going to $100,000 in the next 18 months. I've been saying that in private for quite some time, but I've been holding off to say it here on the channel. But that's my prediction. I'm not going to get much more specific on that because at the end of the day, it's, a lot can happen in 18 months, and I very well may be wrong, but I'm willing to go out on a limb and say that that's where I think Bitcoin will be at in 18 to 24 months from now. And it's for that reason that I am very happy that myself and pretty much everyone who works for me has a position in cryptocurrency, because I genuinely believe it's the future. And I wouldn't be making these videos every single day if I didn't think that. I strongly believe in that symbol back there because it's changed my life, and I know it can change yours. I encourage you guys to invest in cryptocurrency, but I also encourage you not to FOMO based off of what I just said. My intention is not to dig up some visceral emotional reaction inside of you and get you to FOMO into Bitcoin and sell your house and your car and your wife and then buy Bitcoin. That's not what I'm trying to get you to do. I'm trying to get you to understand where Bitcoin can go, but I don't want you to FOMO. Let's be smart. Let's be collected. Let's be calm. Let's not FOMO. Let's be intelligent and understand that, yes, there is a large opportunity in front of us, but let's not go too far. So I've made my peace. I hope you guys agree. I'd love to hear your opinions on all of this in the comment section down below. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and let's talk about it over there. I would love to see our follower counts go up over there, and I love reading comments here on YouTube, and I also love reading them over on Instagram and Twitter. So make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And in exactly 32 minutes, I'm starting a Q&A on Discord. Unfortunately, of course, this video is going out after that, so you missed it, but we're going to be doing more of those. So make sure to join our Discord server. The link to that is in the description down below. We've got a community of 2,000 odd people, and I would love for you to join them. Before we go, I do want to quickly mention one of the sponsors of this channel that makes all of the things that we're doing behind the scenes that you guys will be seeing pretty soon possible, and that would be BlockFi. Guys, we've gotten thousands, literally thousands. I'm not going to give you my email so you can look through it, but there are literally thousands of sponsor offers in our email, and this is the first one that we've taken. And the reason is because I actually trust them and I actually believe in the product. BlockFi is a financial services provider for cryptocurrency, and it's a product where you can actually go into their platform, you can deposit Bitcoin, and you can earn interest on it. Another thing you can do on BlockFi, which I think is really, really cool, is you can get cryptocurrency-backed loans. And the reason that this is so interesting is because instead of going down to the bank and getting a loan, there's actually a very good reason to get it with Bitcoin. I was actually thinking about this a couple weeks ago, and then I realized, hey, you can do this on BlockFi. That's pretty cool. As you can see here in their interface, you can go into this tab right here called Borrow, and it says getting a BlockFi loan is easy. You can select your loan parameters and everything. You can use your collateral type, let's say Bitcoin. You can hit your desired amount of United States dollars, let's say $20,000 real quick, calculate your offer. So here's the deal. You need 2.14 Bitcoin as your collateral for a $20,000 loan. You'll have a $165.75 monthly payment, and then you have a loan to value ratio, LTV, of 50%, interest rate, blah, 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 and then you can move forward and get the loan. The reason why this is actually so important is because when you sell Bitcoin, you're subject to capital gains taxes. Short-term if it's under a year, long-term if it's over a year. Short-term capital gains taxes in the United States are calculated based off of your tax bracket, which means that those gains can actually be taxed at a very high rate, upwards of 35 to 40%, depending on the tax bracket you find yourself in. Long-term capital gains taxes are taxed at a slightly lower rate, up to 20% right now in America. If you don't live in the United States, you probably have a system very similar to that. So there's actually a loophole that if you use your cryptocurrency or your investments, people do this with stocks all the time. If you use cryptocurrency as collateral to back a loan, then you can get cash using your cryptocurrency without having to have it be taxed. And it's not a tax evasion thing, it's just a way the system works. The IRS is very familiar with people doing this. There's nothing illegal about this, so don't think that's the case. But this is really useful, and I would encourage you guys to sign up with the link in the description down below. If you sign up, you can get up to $250 back, actually. They have a promotion going on right now. And guys, I'm serious. We go through a very serious vetting process with our sponsors. Everything I'm saying here is not under contract. I am more than happy to say whatever I want. I am not being told what to say. There's no lizard person standing off camera holding a gun to me. This is my honest opinion. It's all good. Anyway, guys, I thought that was pretty interesting. Tell me what you think about that in the comment section down below. Collateral, Bitcoin-backed loans. That's awesome. But anyway, guys, enough of that. That is going to wrap it out for today's video. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.